Bigger throttle body. Does it make a difference? Do you get power gained to the wheels with a bigger throttle body on a Hellcat? And we'll talk a little bit about NA as well, so there's something for you guys also. But do you? Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's yours truly, Fitz. How you guys doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. And let's get into a bigger throttle body. This is something that's debated for a while, whether it's on NA cars or in our case, boosted the Hellcat. We're primarily going to talk about that, but I do have a slice of information for the NA guys as well. But does a bigger throttle body work and give you actual gains for the Hellcats? The answer is yes and no. Let's go over my car and I'll discuss. So my car, 285 upper pulley, obviously bigger injectors. We're forcing more air through the cold air intake because of the lower pulley, or the lower pulley size, into the supercharger, causing the PSI to go up. We're at about 15 PSI. Stock is around 10.5 to 11, depending on where you are. Because we're shuttling more air into the supercharger via more PSI from the upper pulley, we can benefit from a bigger throttle body, but that's not where it ends. Here is the main factor. My snout is ported. This opening, if you've seen my previous video of me installing this, make sure you do. That way you'll understand a little bit more what I'm talking about. The opening is ported to a 105 millimeter opening, so I'm maximizing all 100 millimeters of this throttle body. It's a BBK 100 millimeter throttle body. But the whole snout is ported for better and more increased airflow. Now, if you couple that with the upper pulley, no matter what upper pulley you're running, you are going to make gains because there's no bottleneck right here. If you had a stock snout with a 95 millimeter opening, it is 95, not 92 like the throttle body is for the stock, but it's actually 95. There is a bottleneck there from factory. But if you leave it stock, you will not gain anything. And that's what a lot of people say. Well, you won't gain anything if you leave it stock, even with the upper pulley. So you must port the snout. You must also add a bigger throttle body because that's a choke point now after you ported the snout. And then another thing a lot of people do is the ported bearing plate. The bearing plate on the inside here, if you port that as well, you'll get even more gains because it's even more increased airflow where the bearing plate meets the rotors. So a full ported package and then slapping a bigger throttle body will give you gains on a stock setup even, but you have to port the entire thing, even on a stock setup for a Hellcat. Now, you get more gains if you throw all this together with a smaller upper pulley, 285, even a 295, a 28, a 265. We're actually going to go in the office and I'll show you guys real world results from a ported package with actually the same 100 millimeter throttle body and the same upper pulley. The only difference is their bearing plates ported and they're running E85, but you will see the difference. Now, one last thing before we go into the office. The NA guys, do you get gains from a bigger throttle body? The answer is no. You will not see gains from a bigger throttle body. Even if you port everything, you're not going to see any gains. The only gains you're going to see is from the port itself, but not from the throttle body. Why is that? Why is that? That's because NA there's no force shuttling and creating a vacuum and creating high PSI into the intake manifold of an NA build. So a bigger throttle body is not going to do anything because there's nothing forcing the air and increasing pressure into the ported manifold. So yes, you'll get gains from a ported manifold, but that's it. So it's all about pressure, increasing boosted applications with full port match to go with it. We'll see gains from 100 millimeter throttle body. So let's go in the office and actually see what that looks like. So we're now here in the office and let's go over some actual real world results of a ported blower with, again, a 285 and a 100 millimeter BBK throttle body, just like I do, except he has a ported plate, a bearing plate, and he's running on E85, but he still shows the difference. So this is real world results. So let's just go over this because it's pretty short. Blackout says, my performance mods are in my signature, but I will tell you that the car made about 870 wheel SAE with a 265 upper pulley, stock blower, stock throttle body on pump 85 fuel on this setup, which is about right, high 800s. That's a really good number. That car is moving. I changed the pulley to a 285 like we got and added the Joker's race ported blower package, which includes the ported snout like I have. It's ported to 105mm opening. And bearing plate. That's something I don't have, but I have in the works, again, like I mentioned, just to have not only the extra airflow, but upgraded bearings, because I think mine might be going bad. I also added a BBK 100mm throttle body. He went from a 92mm to 100mm, just like I showed you guys on my car that I have, and tested on just the same E85 fuel again. No additional adjustments to the tune at this time. He didn't do any adjustments because it was already tuned on one E85, so it has the fuel trim tables in his tune, and it's already been tuned with bigger injectors and whatnot. Going up to a 285 instead of pulling down further, there's just, yes, you can maximize more on this tune if you got it retuned, but the car will learn and adjust and make the appropriate power and the appropriate timing. And here are the results. 892 wheel horsepower and 810 wheel torque SAE. Even with a reduction in boost, going from a 265 to 285, a gain of 22 wheel horsepower and 14 wheel torque. I'd say the ported blower package is good for about 40 wheel on a near stock Hellcat and 80 wheel on a modified one. So let's clarify that a little bit more so there's no confusion. He's saying if you port the entire blower and add a minimum of his 100mm throttle body on a stock boost Hellcat, still a boosted application, it is stock, you're looking probably about 40 wheel. That's his guess. Now take that with a grain of salt. Even if you get 30 wheel, that's awesome, because that's not including on top of a normal tune. Because a normal tune on a Hellcat can give you like 50 wheel just by adding timing and whatnot and perfecting the ignition system and whatnot. So you're talking probably, you could probably with a tune, this in a BBK 100mm throttle body or bigger, you're looking at probably almost 100 wheel, maybe altogether. I would say conservatively, let's say 70 wheel, and if you got an automatic car like I do, you're looking at about 700 wheel horsepower. That's not bad. 80 plus wheel depends on your upper pulley. Again, the better, like if he used a 265, oh my lord, it would be more than 80 wheel. He would probably be making about I'm gonna say about 930 to the wheels if he used a 265. It might even be more. It might even be more. So this is just his dyno graph here, real world proven results on the DynoJet dyno, and back to back. Like he's got the results. So this can't be argued. It does help if you use a bigger throttle body with at least a ported snout, and then porting the bearing plate is even better. There are gains to be had on a boosted setup with a supercharger, in this case obviously, with a ported snout and a bigger throttle body. So I'll link this in the description down below for you guys if you want to save it for future reference, kind of like I actually did for this, because this is something that I'm going to do. I am going to have a 285 pulley. I'm going to have a I already have ported snout and 100mm BBK, but I'm going to get the bearing plate ported, and I'm eventually going to do E85 as well. So I just kind of wanted to compare my numbers against this guy, because this guy has 1,000 horsepower crank setup, basically. He has 1,000 horsepower plus car. So absolutely amazing. It is worth doing if you're really trying to max out your stock blower. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about the bigger throttle body with the ported snout. Even you NA guys too. Let me know if you guys have had any gains reported from a bigger throttle body and porting your intake manifold and whatnot. Let me know. Also, you guys that have done stuff like this, let me know as well in the comment section. Let's kind of get some information in the comment section and help other people out. I always love documenting how well people do with their modifications, because every car is different, so it's really cool to see. Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already for more Hellcat and fast car content. That's it, the boy Fitz, and I'll see you guys in the next one.